I want you to imagine a bank account. Every morning, at exactly the same time, a mysterious benefactor deposits $86,400 into this account. But there is a catch. Two catches, actually. First, you cannot carry the balance over. Whatever you do not spend by midnight is deleted. It disappears forever. You cannot save it. You cannot invest it for tomorrow. Second, the benefactor can close the account at any moment, without warning. Today might be the last deposit you ever receive. If this were money, what would you do? You would withdraw every single cent, every single morning, wouldn't you? You would spend it, invest it, enjoy it. You wouldn't let a penny go to waste. You know where I am going with this. The currency isn't money. It is time. Every day, you are given 86,400 seconds. And every night, the unused seconds are burned. And yes, the account can be closed at any moment. But here is the tragedy of the modern human condition. We treat money like it is scarce, and we treat time like it is infinite. We guard our wallets, but we leave our calendars wide open. We worry about wasting $5 on a coffee, but we don't think twice about wasting 3 hours on social media. Welcome to the audio masterclass of Master Your Time, Master Your Life by Thibaut Meurisse. This is not a course on how to organize your to-do list. To-do lists are for amateurs. This is a course on how to reclaim your life from the thieves that are stealing it. We are going to explore why you feel busy but achieve nothing. We are going to talk about the chemical in your brain that is sabotaging your focus. And we are going to build a system that turns your time into your legacy. I am your guide. And the clock is ticking. Let's begin. Welcome to the Book Vault, the essence of every book. Let's start with a brutal truth. Busyness is not a badge of honor. It is often a sign of laziness. Lazy thinking. Lazy prioritization. Thibaut Meurisse opens his philosophy by dismantling the hustle culture myth. We live in a world that applauds movement. If you are running around, sweating, answering emails at midnight, and complaining about how tired you are, society gives you a gold star. Wow, look how hard they work. But let's look at the physics of it. If you run in a circle at 100 miles per hour, you are moving very fast. You are sweating. You are exhausted. But where have you gone? Nowhere. Most people are drowning in fake work. Fake work gives you the feeling of productivity without the result of productivity. Checking email every 10 minutes. Fake work. Reorganizing your desk. Fake work. Having a meeting to plan another meeting. Fake work. Scrolling LinkedIn to network. Fake work. This is what Meurisse calls the illusion of productivity. We do these things because they are easy, and they give us a quick hit of dopamine. We feel like we are doing something. But real work, deep work, is hard. It requires silence. It requires thinking. It requires staring at a blank page. And because it is hard, we avoid it. We hide in the safety of busyness. I want you to audit your yesterday. Be honest. How many hours did you spend actually moving the needle on your biggest goal? Not preparing to move it. Not talking about moving it. Actually moving it. For most people, the answer is less than 60 minutes. The rest of the day was spent reacting to other people's demands. To master your time, you must stop being a reactor and start being a creator. A reactor lives in their inbox. A creator lives in their calendar. A reactor lets the world dictate their day. A creator dictates their day to the world. If we know we should be doing deep work, why don't we? Why do we sit down to write the report, and 5 minutes later, we are watching a cat video? Are we weak? Are we stupid? No. We are addicted. Thibaut Meurisse identifies the number one enemy of time management. It is not your boss. It is not your kids. It is dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter. It is the molecule of more. Its job is to encourage you to seek rewards. In the ancient world, this was great. It motivated us to find food and reproduce. In the modern world, it has been hijacked. Silicon Valley engineers are smarter than you. They have spent billions of dollars designing algorithms specifically to exploit your dopamine receptors. Every time you pull down to refresh your feed, that is a slot machine. Will it be a funny meme? A shocking news story? A like on your photo? You don't know. And that unpredictability spikes your dopamine. Here is the problem: high dopamine activities make low dopamine activities feel impossible. Compare scrolling TikTok to reading a textbook. TikTok, flashy lights. Music. Fast cuts. Instant laughter. High dopamine. Textbook, black and white text. Silence. Requires effort. If you start your day with high dopamine, checking your phone in bed, you have fried your receptors. When you try to sit down and do your work, your brain screams, "This is boring. Where is the stimulation? Give me the phone." You are trying to run a marathon after eating a pound of sugar. You crash. You cannot manage your time if you cannot control your biology. If you are a slave to the next notification, no amount of time blocking will save you. You will simply stare at your time block and procrastinate. This brings us to the first major actionable strategy of the book. The dopamine detox. To reclaim your time, you must reset your brain's baseline for stimulation. You need to make boring things appealing again. And the only way to do that is to starve the brain of cheap dopamine. Meurisse suggests a radical intervention. The 24-hour detox. Or, if that scares you, the 48-hour low-stimulation diet. Here are the rules of the detox. 1. No phone. Except for emergencies. No internet. No social media. No video games. No TV/Netflix. No music with lyrics. No junk food. You are thinking, what am I supposed to do? Stare at the wall. Yes. Or write. Or walk. Or think. Here is what will happen. The first few hours will be agony. You will feel phantom vibrations in your pocket. You will feel bored. You will feel anxious. This is withdrawal. It is proof of your addiction. But, around hour 6 or hour 7, something magical happens. Your brain realizes the cheap dopamine isn't coming. So, it starts looking for dopamine elsewhere. Suddenly, cleaning your room seems interesting. Suddenly, writing that report seems like a fun challenge. Suddenly, reading a book feels engaging. Boredom is the gateway to focus. When you are bored enough, work becomes the most exciting thing in the room. You don't need more motivation. You need less stimulation. If you want to master your time, you must protect your mornings. Meurisse's golden rule: no high dopamine activities until you have completed your most important task. Don't check email in bed. Don't scroll Instagram over breakfast. Keep your brain in a low dopamine state until the work is done. Use the cheap dopamine as a reward at the end of the day, not fuel at the beginning. Now that we are detoxing, we need to address the way we work. We think we can do two things at once. We think we can write an email while listening to a conference call. We think we can talk to our spouse while texting our boss. Multitasking is a biological lie. Your brain cannot focus on two things at once. It can only task switch. It toggles back and forth. Email. Call. Email. Call. Email. Call. Every time you switch tasks, there is a switching cost. It's like shifting gears in a car. You lose momentum. You burn fuel. Research shows that when you are interrupted, it takes an average of 23 minutes to get back to the same level of deep focus. If you check your phone every 10 minutes, you are never in deep focus. You are permanently in the shallows. You are operating with what psychologists call attention residue. Part of your brain is still thinking about the email you just read, while you are trying to write the report. Imagine your attention is a bucket of water. You want to water a tree, your goal. If you pour the whole bucket on the tree, it grows. But multitasking is like punching holes in the bottom of the bucket. You are walking toward the tree, but the water is leaking out everywhere. A little drop for Facebook. A drop for the news. A drop for the text message. By the time you get to the tree, the bucket is empty. You felt busy carrying the bucket. But the tree is dying. Thibaut Meurisse demands singletasking. One tab open. Phone in the other room. Door closed. You do one thing until it is done. Or until the timer goes off. This feels slower at first. But because there are no switching costs, you actually finish in half the time. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Before we move to part 2 and discuss specific planning techniques, we need to make a philosophical shift. You need to stop saying the phrase, "I don't have time." Saying, "I don't have time," is a victim statement. It implies that time is something that happens to you. It implies that the world took your time away. Instead, replace it with, "It is not a priority." Try saying, "I don't have time to exercise." Now say, "Exercising is not a priority." Ouch. That stings, doesn't it? It feels honest. Try saying, "I don't have time to work on my side business." Now say, "My side business is not a priority." When you admit it's a priority issue, you take back ownership. You have the same 24 hours as Beyoncé, Elon Musk, and Albert Einstein. The difference isn't the amount of time. It is the value placed on the time. Imagine a jar. If you fill it with sand, small, unimportant tasks like emails and social media, there is no room left for the big rocks, your dreams, your health, your family. But if you put the big rocks in first, the sand can fill in the cracks around them. Mastering your time is simply the discipline of putting the big rocks in first. If you don't design your life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. 1. Time is a diminishing asset. You must treat it with more respect than money. 2. Busyness is often a mask for laziness. Avoid fake work and seek deep work. 3. Dopamine is the enemy. You are addicted to distraction. You need to detox your brain to make hard work feel good again. 4. Multitasking is a myth. Stop leaking your attention. Do one thing at a time. 5. Stop being a victim. You have time. You just need to adjust your priorities. Now, you are awake. You are detoxed. You are ready to work. But, what should you work on? How do you know which big rock is the right one? And how do you plan your day so that you actually get it done? We stopped the dopamine addiction. We admitted that busyness is a trap. Now, we have a clear lot. It is time to build. Most people approach their day like a firefighter. They wake up and wait to see where the smoke is coming from. Then they rush to put out the fire. This is a stressful way to live. We are going to stop being firefighters. We are going to become architects. An architect does not guess. An architect plans. An architect knows exactly where the walls go, where the windows go, and, most importantly, what doesn't belong in the building. To be an architect of your time, you must master 2 laws of physics. The law of the vital few. And the law of subtraction. In the late 1800s, an Italian economist named Vilfredo Pareto noticed something interesting. He noticed that 20% of the pea pods in his garden produced 80% of the peas. He looked at the economy. 20% of the people owned 80% of the land. This is the Pareto principle. Or the 80-20 rule. It states, 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. This is not just a theory. It is a universal law. Look at your business, 20% of your customers probably provide 80% of your revenue. Look at your wardrobe, you probably wear 20% of your clothes 80% of the time. Look at your phone, you probably spend 80% of your time on just 3 apps. Why does this matter for time management? Because it means that most of what you do is useless. If you have a to-do list with 10 items, 2 of those items are worth more than the other 8 combined. But what do? We do the easy 8 first. We check off the little boxes to feel productive. This is a trap. Thibaut Meurisse asks you to be ruthless. Look at your tasks. Which ones are the vital few? The 20%. Which ones are the trivial many? The 80%. Vital few, writing the book, calling the key client, creating the product strategy. Trivial many, formatting the font, checking email, attending status meetings, organizing files. If you spend your day on the trivial many, you will be exhausted and broke. If you spend your day on the vital few, you can work 4 hours a day and be rich. Productivity is not about doing more. It is about doing less of the wrong things. Once you identify the 20%, you face a new problem. What do you do with the 80%? You cut it. This is the philosophy of essentialism. The word priority came into the English language in the 1400s. It was singular. It meant the very first thing. It stayed singular for 500 years. Only in the 1900s did we pluralize it to priorities. We reasoned that we could have multiple first things. This is logically impossible. To master your time, you must get comfortable with the word no. Meurisse argues that every time you say yes to something minor, you are saying no to something major. Yes to a coffee meeting with a stranger equals no to an hour of deep work. Yes to a volunteer committee you hate equals no to spending time with your kids. You must prune your life. If it is not a hell yes, it is a no. If you feel lukewarm about a project, kill it. If you feel obligated to go to an event, don't go. Your time is $86,400 a day. Stop giving it away to people who don't value it. How do you say no without being a jerk? Be polite but firm. Thank you for thinking of me. I have a rule that I don't take meetings on Tuesdays/Thursdays so I can focus on deep work. I won't be able to make it. People respect boundaries. In fact, people trust busy people more than available people. Scarcity creates value. Make your time scarce. Now that we have cleared the clutter, what are we aiming at? We need goals. But not just any goals. Vague goals produce vague results. I want to be rich. Vague. I want to lose weight. Vague. I want to have more time. Vague. Your brain is a GPS. If you type in somewhere nice, the GPS cannot help you. You must type in coordinates. You have heard of SMART goals. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. Thibaut Meurisse takes it a step further. He emphasizes the why. A goal without a why is just a wish. When the going gets hard, and it will, the what won't save you. Only the why will save you. Exercise, write down your biggest goal. Now, ask why 5 times. Goal, I want to make $100,000. Oh why? So I can quit my job. Oh why? So I can have freedom. Oh why? So I can travel with my kids. Oh why? Because my dad worked all the time and I never saw him, and I don't want to repeat that. Oh bingo. That is the emotional fuel. When you wake up tired, you won't get up for $100,000. You will get up 4, breaking the cycle of absentee fatherhood. Connect your time management to your deepest values. We have the goal. We have the why. We have identified the 20% tasks. Now, we put it on the calendar. Thibaut Meurisse advocates for 2 powerful techniques, batching and time blocking. Technique 1, batching. Remember the switching cost? Every time you switch tasks, you lose brain power. Batching solves this by grouping similar tasks together. Instead of checking email 20 times a day, check it twice. Instead of making 1 phone call here and there, block out call time and make 10 calls in a row. Instead of writing 1 social media post every day, write all 5 posts for the week on Monday morning. Think of doing laundry. Do you wash 1 sock? Then wait an hour. Then wash 1 shirt. No. That would take forever. You wait until you have a pile, and you do a batch. Why don't you treat your emails like laundry? Let them pile up, then wash them all at once. It is the only efficient way. Technique 2, time blocking. A to-do list is a graveyard where tasks go to die. Why? Because a to-do list doesn't account for time. It says, write report, but it doesn't say when. So you push it to tomorrow. And tomorrow. If it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist. Give every task a home. Don't write, gym, on a list. Put a block from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on your calendar. Don't write book. Put a block from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. This does 2 things. 1, it forces realism. You can see that you only have 8 hours. You can't fit 20 hours of work into 8 hours. It forces you to prioritize. 2, it reduces decision fatigue. When 9 a.m. comes, you don't ask, what should I do? The calendar tells you. You just obey the calendar. There is one habit that binds all of this together. If you skip this, the system falls apart. It is the weekly review. Most people start their week on Monday morning. This is too late. If you start planning on Monday, you are already behind. You are already reacting. Meurisse suggests a Sunday ritual. Take 30 minutes every Sunday evening. Step 1, review the previous week. What did I get done? Where did I waste time? What distracted me? Be a scientist. Don't judge yourself, just observe the data. Step 2, plan the upcoming week. What are the 3 big goals for this week? The vital few. Block them out on the calendar first. Then, fill in the meetings and the sand around them. When you wake up on Monday, you should have 0 questions about what you need to do. You hit the ground running. While everyone else is drinking coffee and gossiping, trying to figure out their day, you have already finished your most important task. By winning Sunday night, you win the week. Now we have a plan. We have a calendar filled with high-value tasks. But, here comes the enemy. Procrastination. You see the block on the calendar. It says, write report. But you don't feel like it. You feel resistance. You feel fear. How do we overcome the emotional barrier to doing the work? How do we enter the state of flow? We have a plan. We have a calendar. We have the ambition. But Monday morning arrives. You sit at your desk. You look at the block of time labeled, Write Project Proposal. And, you freeze. You feel a physical resistance in your chest. Suddenly, you need coffee. Suddenly, you need to clean your keyboard. Suddenly, you need to check the news. Welcome to the resistance. Stephen Pressfield calls it the enemy of all creativity. Thibaut Meurisse identifies it as the primary barrier to mastering your time. Having a map doesn't matter if the car won't start. Let's get one thing straight. Procrastination is not a time management problem. It is an emotional regulation problem. You don't procrastinate because you are busy. You procrastinate because the task makes you feel something you don't want to feel. Fear of failure. What if I write this and it's bad? Fear of complexity. I don't know where to start. Boredom. This is tedious. Your brain is a survival machine. It wants to avoid pain. When it sees a painful task, it immediately looks for a soothing activity, social media, snacking, to fix your mood. You are not lazy. You are just trying to repair your mood. But this mood repair is temporary. It creates a debt of guilt. The more you put it off, the scarier the task becomes. The monster grows in the closet. Thibaut Meurisse offers a solution. We need to lower the barrier to entry. We need to make the pain of starting smaller than the pain of not doing it. The hardest part of a space shuttle launch is the first 10 seconds. It takes millions of gallons of fuel just to get off the launch pad. Once it is in orbit, it requires almost zero energy to keep moving. You are the space shuttle. The resistance is gravity. To break gravity, we use the 10-minute rule. Tell yourself this lie: it's a useful lie, I will do this task for just 10 minutes. If I hate it after 10 minutes, I am allowed to stop. Your brain is terrified of writing a book, huge task. But your brain is not scared of writing for 10 minutes, tiny task. You lower the threat level. The amygdala, fear center, calms down. So you start. And guess what happens at minute 11? You keep going. Why? Because the pain of starting is gone. You are already moving. You have momentum. Newton's law takes over: objects in motion tend to stay in motion. If 10 minutes is too scary, try the 2-minute rule. I will just open the document and write one sentence. Often, that is all it takes to break the seal. Once you have started, how do you sustain focus without burning out? We use a method invented by Francesco Cirillo in the late 1980s. The Pomodoro technique. It is simple. 1. Set a timer for 25 minutes. 2. Work with single-minded focus. No phones. No tabs. Just work. 3. When the timer rings, take a 5-minute break. Walk, stretch, breathe. 4. Repeat. 5. After 4 cycles, take a longer break, 20 to 30 minutes. Why does this work? First, it creates artificial urgency. 25 minutes is a sprint. You race against the clock. Second, it guarantees rest. Most people grind for 3 hours, burn out, and then quit for the day. Pomodoro forces you to rest before you are tired. It keeps your tank full. It breaks the mountain into climbable hills. You don't have to finish the report. You just have to do one Pomodoro. Now we arrive at a critical concept in Master Your Time, Master Your Life. Time is fixed. Energy is not. You have 24 hours every day. But you do not have the same quality of hours every day. An hour at 9 a.m. is worth 3 times as much as an hour at 3 p.m., for most people. Thibaut Meurisse argues that you shouldn't just manage your time, you must manage your energy. Human beings are rhythmic creatures. We are not robots. We run on cycles. Concept 1, Ultradian rhythms. We all know about circadian rhythms, sleep-wake cycle. But we also have ultradian rhythms. These are 90 to 120-minute cycles of alertness during the day. Your brain can focus intensely for about 90 minutes. After that, it needs a trough, a recovery period. We try to push through the trough. We chug caffeine. We stare blankly at the screen. This is fake work. You are sitting there, but your brain is offline. Meurisse says, ride the wave. Work hard for 90 minutes. Then completely disconnect for 15. Walk outside. Get sun. Drink water. When you return, you catch the next wave of high energy. Concept 2, Chronotypes. Are you a lark, morning person? Or an owl, night person? Society tells us we must wake up at 5 a.m. to be successful. That is nonsense if you are biologically an owl. If your brain turns on at 10 p.m., use that time. Don't fight your biology. Audit your energy. Identify your biological prime time. Is it 8 a.m.? 11 a.m.? 8 p.m.? Protect these hours with your life. This is when you do your deep work, the vital few. Do your shallow work, emails, admin, during your low-energy slumps. We have defeated procrastination. We have optimized our energy. Now, we aim for the holy grail of productivity. Flow. Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, the psychologist who coined the term, defines flow as a state in which people are so involved in an activity that nothing else seems to matter. The experience is so enjoyable that people will do it even at great cost. For the sheer sake of doing it. In flow, time vanishes. You sit down at 9 a.m., look up, and it is 1 p.m. The work felt effortless. This is where masterpieces are created. This is where you produce 10x the results in 1x the time. You cannot force flow, but you can create the conditions for it. Thibaut Meurisse outlines the flow triggers. 1. Clear goals. You must know exactly what you are trying to do next. No ambiguity. 2. Immediate feedback. You can see if you are doing it right or wrong instantly. 3. High concentration, zero distractions. Phone off, door locked. 4. The challenge/skill ratio. The task must be hard enough to challenge you, but not so hard that you get anxious. Too easy equals boredom. Too hard equals anxiety. Just right equals flow. Cal Newport calls this deep work. In our distracted world, the ability to perform deep work is the new superpower. It is becoming rare, and at the same time, it is becoming more valuable. If you can sit for 4 hours and solve hard problems, you will never be poor. You will never be replaceable. AI can do shallow work. AI cannot do deep work. We have arrived at the final leg of our journey. We have detoxed our brains. We have architected our calendars. We have ignited our engines and found flow. But now, we face the silent killer of all self-improvement. Entropy. The tendency for things to fall apart. It is easy to be productive for a day. It is easy to be organized for a week. But what about a year? What about a decade? Most people treat time management like a crash diet. They go intense for 2 weeks, color code everything, wake up at 4 a.m., and then they crash. They revert to chaos. Thibaut Meurisse doesn't want you to crash. He wants you to build a lifestyle. In this finale, we are going to look at the long game. We are going to talk about compound time, the secret of the wealthy. We are going to reframe discipline. And we are going to return to that bank account we spoke of in the beginning. Walk with me. Let's go back to money for a moment. You know the difference between spending money and investing money. If you buy a coffee, that money is gone. You spent it. If you buy a stock, that money works for you. It grows. It comes back as more money. Time works the exact same way. Most people spend their time. They answer an email. The time is gone. The email is answered. They watch a show. The time is gone. The show is over. This is a 1:1 transaction. Masters of time invest their time. They put hours into activities that will pay them back in free time in the future. This is called compound time. Let me give you 3 examples. Example 1, touch typing. Let's say you type 30 words per minute. You decide to invest 20 hours learning to touch type faster. Now you type 60 words per minute. You have doubled your speed. For the rest of your life, every email, every report, every message takes half the time. You invested 20 hours to save thousands of hours over your lifetime. That is a massive ROI, return on investment. Example 2, automation. You spend 2 hours every Friday manually creating a report. You decide to invest 10 hours building a macro or a script to automate it. Now, the report takes 5 minutes. You paid 10 hours upfront to buy back your Fridays forever. Example 3, reading/learning. You read a book on negotiation. It takes 5 hours to read. But next week, you negotiate a raise. You negotiate a car deal. You negotiate with your spouse. The skill keeps paying dividends. Look at your calendar. How much of your day is maintenance, spending? Keeping the lights on. Answering the same questions. How much of your day is investment, building? Creating systems. Learning skills. Training employees. If 100% of your time is spent on maintenance, you will never get ahead. You are on a hamster wheel. You must carve out at least 10% of your week for investment. Build the machine that builds the freedom. When you hear the word discipline, what do you feel? Most of us feel a tightening. We think of boot camps. We think of punishment. We think of forcing ourselves to do things we hate. We think, I need to be harder on myself. Thibaut Meurisse flips this upside down. Self-discipline is not self-punishment. It is self-love. Think about it. If you love your child, do you let them eat candy for dinner every night? Do you let them skip school? No. You make them eat vegetables. You make them study. Why? Because you love them. You want them to have a good future. You care more about their long-term happiness than their short-term pleasure. Narrator, direct application, you need to parent yourself. When you force yourself to sit down and write that report, you are not punishing yourself. You are loving your future self. You are saying, I love future me enough to do this hard work now, so he doesn't have to stress about it later. When you skip the gym, you are disrespecting your future self. You are handing him a weaker body. When you procrastinate, you are abusing your future self. You are handing him a panic attack. Stop saying, I have to do this. Start saying, I am doing this for me. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. It is the ultimate act of self-respect. We have a tendency to worship intensity. We love the all-nighter. We love the 30-day shred. We love the hero who sprints at the end of the movie. But intensity is cheap. Consistency is expensive. You can be intense for a week. Can you be consistent for a decade? The people who master their time are not the ones who work 16 hours a day. They are the ones who work focused for 4 hours a day, every single day, for 10 years. Perfectionism is the enemy of consistency. We think, if I can't do it perfectly, I won't do it at all. I only have 20 minutes, so I can't go to the gym. I felt tired, so I didn't write. This is the all or nothing. Meurisse advocates for the good enough mentality. Show up. Even if you are tired. Even if you only have 10 minutes. A bad workout is better than no workout. A bad paragraph is better than a blank page. The habit of showing up is more important than the quality of the work. Imagine a chain. Every day you show up, you add a link. On good days, the link is gold. On bad days, the link is rusty iron. But the chain holds. If you break the chain because you are waiting for gold, you have nothing. Build the chain. Rust and all. Let's return to the bank account. $86,400. 86,400 seconds. We started this journey by talking about how easily we waste it. But I want to end by talking about what it's actually for. Time management is not about squeezing more tasks into your day. It is not about becoming a robot who processes emails faster than anyone else. If you get to the end of your life, and your tombstone says, "He responded to every email within 5 minutes, you have failed." We master time not to do more work. We master time to make space for life. We master time so we can close the laptop at 5 p.m. without guilt. We master time so we can be present with our children, instead of checking our phones under the dinner table. We master time so we can write the book, paint the canvas, or build the business that is inside us. Thibaut Meurisse's book is called Master Your Time, Master Your Life. The title is the lesson. Time is the raw material of life. If you lose money, you can make more. If you lose a job, you can find another. But you cannot get back yesterday. So, here is your challenge. Tomorrow morning, the benefactor will deposit 86,400 seconds into your account. Don't let the world steal them. Don't let dopamine steal them. Don't let fear steal them. Be the architect. Be the investor. Be the creator. Take the seconds. And turn them into something that lasts forever. Thank you for listening. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe this channel.